Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum, dear students. It's me, Muhammad Zubair, and today we will discuss the topics that we have in the second week in statistic 1. So the topics that we have today is classification. In previous weeks we have studied, we have discussed in detail in two videos as well as in the notes which were given about the definition of statistic as well as the different components of the statistic, the types of statistic that we have studied in the previous week. So the last definition was the variable and types of variable. That was the last definition. There we studied the different types of variable like qualitative variable and quantitative variables. Today we are discussing the classification. You know, according to the definition of statistic, it's very much simple to understand that when we are discussing the statistics, so first you need to understand that statistic is a scientific study and it's handling the qualitative and quantitative data, and it provides method for the collection. So the collection of data, this was the assignment that the student should submit the assignment about the collection of data. In the previous week it was given that you needs to search out the different types of methods, different types of sources for the collection of primary data as well as secondary data. Now today we are discussing the classification of data. Basically, after the collection of data needs to be classified, data needs to be arranged, data needs to be summarized. So classification of data means the arrangement of data with respect to quality or with respect to quantity. So with respect to, maybe you can say with respect to quality as well as quantity. So if we classified the data, if we arrange the data after the collection of data, it's mean that we are doing classification. So classification, as I mentioned, that there are different types of classification, but first you need to understand what is classification. Classification, basically the arrangement of data in a tabulated way. You can say the arrangement of data according to their characteristics. That is basically called what? Classification. Then we have two types of classification. In Dari it's also called Jadwal Bandi. Tartib Bandi it's called in Dari. So classification basically called what? Jadwal Bandi or Tartib Bandi. So classification basically the arrangement of items, the arrangement of data in according to the characteristics. Then we have types of classification. So we have different types of classification. Classification may be with respect to you can say qualities. That is basically called descriptive classification, the first one. When we classified the data with respect to qualities, that is called descriptive classification. Quality is a characteristic which cannot be measured in numbers, which cannot be present in numbers, which cannot be present in digits. For example, gender, sex, you can say, it's a quality. For example, ability, intelligence, beauty, these are qualities. So when we are classifying the data with respect to qualities, that particular classification is said to be descriptive classification. For example, I'm arranging the data in two columns. The first column related to male students and the second column related to female students. It means that I'm classifying the data with respect to quality, and that quality is what? Gender. So according to the gender, which is by itself a quality, when you are classifying the data, that is basically called what? Descriptive classification. The another one is numerical classification. Numerical classification is the second type of classification when the data are classified on the basis of quantities. Quantities. When the data are classified on the basis of quantities, that is basically called what? Numerical classification. For example, if we classified a class, the class of students, if we classified according to the age, according to the income, according to the marks obtained by the students, for example, age of the students. So age of the students, when we are classifying the data according to the age of the students, that we have 10 students, their age is below 20 years. We have 25 students, their age is below 30 years. We have 10 students, their age is below 40 years. It means that we can categorize the data, or we can classify the data according to what? According to the quantity. That is basically called what? Numerical classification, which we can show numerically, which we can show in numbers, in digit form. The third one is manifold classification, or this is also called complex classification. Complex classification means that when a data is classified according to the quality as well as according to the quantity, if we classified the data with respect to both characteristics, that is basically called complex classification. For example, if we arrange the data, classified the data, if we classified the population of a city, the population of a country with respect to uh, qualities, with respect to two qualities, more than one quality, that is basically called what? Manifold classification. Remember, when we classified the data with respect to more than one quality, that is called manifold classification. For example, the population can be classified with respect to two qualities. One is marital status, another is gender. So it will give us 6 results: male married, male unmarried, male widowed. Female married, female unmarried, and female widowed. So you can classify the data with respect to more than one quality. So one quality is called descriptive classification. Numerically, with respect to quantity, we classified the data, that is called numerical classification. Manifold classification, when we have more than one quality in a data and we are classifying the data, that is called what? Manifold classification. In the next video, inshallah, we will discuss the tabulation. Thank you.